Well, welcome to this episode of Straight Talk. Today we're going to talk about spraying technology, and with us we have three gentlemen. We have Joshua Robertson, Mike Murphy, and Shane Parrish. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you today?
Doing good, Jeff.
Doing good. Thank you.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi. I know we're all spread across the country, and we're going to talk a little bit about what you have to share as far as applying products, especially during this coronavirus pandemic we're in. But why don't you introduce yourself and tell us briefly your company and what you do? Josh, let's start with you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. Again, thanks for having us. I am Josh Robertson. I'm the president of eMist and one of the owners. And we have designed and built an electrostatic spraying technology that we've had on the market for the last 6 years and have some really neat products on the way. So excited to share what we can do, but more so the importance of electrostatic application.
Very good. And Mike, how about you?
Hi, Mike Murphy, Director of Business Development for Ferguson Facility Supplies. I've been in the business over 30 years. Had the good fortune to be with Ferguson for the past 3, focused on customer acquisition, retention, development, and partnering with some of our suppliers such as eMist.
Well, nice to have you here today. And last but not least is
Thanks.
Shane. Tell us about yourself.
Hey, Jeff. Shane Parrish with Ferguson also, based out of our corporate office. I've been with the company 26 years, about 15 of that at the corporate office, and the rest was in the field, sales and management positions. And today I'm responsible for sourcing some of our key vendor partners.
All right. So we're going to cover some ground here for a few minutes. And it's important information to anyone who is cleaning and disinfecting, not just routinely, but especially for this coronavirus. So Josh, let's start with you. What kind of information can you share with us today about your products, but especially how the ones watching this can benefit?
Yeah, so not just focusing just on eMist, I think it comes down to, ever since our product was first launched in 2014, it was really out of necessity. Our founder and inventor, Mike Sides, had spent his whole career really in electrostatics, more so on the agricultural side. And out of necessity, almost accidental, he found a great solution in how he could take that same methodology to effectively cover buildings, schools, healthcare facilities with disinfectant, utilizing the same methods he used in greenhouses. And so that's where our company really was born. And we did it out of the fact of buildings are getting bigger. And if proactive cleaning and proactive disinfection can occur, if you have a lot of buildings, even with more people, you're utilizing a lot of chemistry. You've got to have great methodologies to be able to cover that much square footage. And so pre-COVID, it's always been our message, but post-COVID, the importance of proactive cleaning and touch point disinfection is so vital, not only to get our country back opened again, but also to ensure the safety for your employees, for your customers that are coming into your buildings, the students and teachers going back to school, healthcare workers. So we just want to empower people. And I think that's the beautiful thing about electrostatics is it empowers the end user, the frontline employees to proactively clean and properly disinfect, allow the proper dwell times so that they can get comprehensive coverage quickly.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So Mike or Shane, are you seeing a big demand for this type of technology? You both are involved in sales?
Yep. Yes, Jeff. We've seen a exponential growth in the need for cleaning and disinfecting and the application of disinfectant across multiple market segments. So we were forced to look at all options and try to expand what we could bring for our customers who are clamoring for solutions. And one of the strengths that we have at Ferguson is an active sourcing team, which Shane will talk about that. But we looked at multitude of solutions to try to find the best one, both in the product application, but also in the chemistry, so that we could, as Josh said, provide value to those frontline workers as they were entering this new normal, or more importantly, new unnormal, times.
Normal, that's for sure. So Shane, I assume you have more than one location you sell out of.
Yeah, quite a few. We have about 1,200 locations across the U.S. We're the largest wholesale distributor of plumbing and heating equipment in the U.S. That's kind of our core, but we're very diversified. We're in industrial, waterworks, facility supply, which is the group that Mike primarily supports from a national scope. So within that facility supply group, that's Jan-San, health and hygiene. So we were in the business pre-pandemic. It's not like we just jumped in, it's opportunistic like some folks. So we were in the business to begin with. We've got some experts out in the field that know disinfecting. They've been selling chemicals all their career and different types of disbursement methods. And EMIST really came to my attention. One of our executive leaders, right after we had our stay-at-home order, March 16th, he formed a task force, about a dozen folks, sourcing from sales. Mike's on the task force. There's some folks from accounting, because we had to start setting up accounts rapidly. It normally would take us about 6 months to properly onboard a new vendor, and we were doing it in 24 hours. So EMIST came to my attention really through some of our branch locations. Nashville primarily had reached out, made contact with them. So it's been a wild ride for sure, but EMIST has been a good partner with that and helping me understand the technology. I didn't know what existed pre-pandemic.
Yes, so it's cool you all are partnering up and you're bringing this to market and helping. But Josh, tell us a little bit about the technology. What should we know about it? What should those who are using the technology or maybe looking at it, what would you tell them?
I think the most simple way I like to keep things simple. I've got 3 little boys at home, and so I like to keep it very simple on electrostatic. So if you've ever blown up a balloon for your kid and rubbed it on your head and you stick it to the wall, that's what is basically happening every time a droplet, every little micron that is coming out of the end of our technology is charged. And so that charged droplet then is attracted violently to the surface. And you're also going to have this nice comprehensive coverage on the front, on the side, and also have a wrapping effect as well. So with that, having comprehensive coverage, number one, you're utilizing less chemistry on a per square foot basis. You're able to comprehensively coat the surface so that you're hitting every square inch of the targeted surface that you intend to disinfect. You're able to achieve the dwell times, and then with certain chemistries, so we're chemistry agnostic, with certain chemistries, you're not going to have any residuals. So basically you spray it, you apply the chemistry, you allow it to sit there, and in most cases, you don't even have to come back and wipe down that surface. You allow the dwell time to happen so the pathogen is killed on those surfaces, and you're moving on to the next room. And when you have 100,000 square foot, 1 million square foot facility, it matters. You've got so many touch points, and you've got a lot of human error that is happening. And I think we've all been in facilities where we've seen janitors and housekeepers, they're spraying and they immediately wipe, and they're not allowing that chemistry to do its job. And so with proper application, like implementing electrostatics, it allows you to do it fast, efficiently, and utilize less chemistry.
Where did this technology come from?
So, it's a relatively, definitely a newer technology in disinfectant. So, we've been around, we officially have formed in 2014. There's been some electrostatic disinfectant technology on the market a little bit longer than we have. So it primarily has been utilized in the automobile industry and in agriculture, like I said earlier. So, that's how we paint our cars. Inkjet printers implement electrostatic technology. And again, the primary method and reasoning behind it is, number one, is to reduce waste and to make sure it's comprehensive coverage. And so, like for instance, on an agriculture, you don't want to just put pesticide on the front of the plant. You want to put it on the side of it and on the back of it and make sure every square inch of that plant has got protection. And that's exactly what we're doing with disinfecting, is we're allowing that coverage to be able to hit every touch point. And now, not even just touch point disinfection. Now you've got the ability to truly do whole room, like we do in healthcare, whole room disinfection. Now you're seeing that done and being implemented in office buildings and in education facilities, where they want every touch point in an office setting, in an educational setting. They want it all comprehensively covered. And the only way to do it efficiently is through electrostatics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think viruses come out and wave their hand and show you where they're at. So you have to get it to all the surfaces.
That's right. That's right.
So one of the challenges we all know when this pandemic hit was finding product and finding spraying equipment to deliver that product to the surface. It seemed like everybody was running out. Mike, what did you folks do to handle that?
That's a great question, Jeff. And it was extremely hectic. We actively brought to bear all of our sourcing people, our sales people, all around the country, looking for the solutions, trying to find an answer that would provide value, that would provide scalability. We didn't want an answer that was just 1 or 2 units. We needed an answer that could be national in scope. And we were trying all kinds of things, some very unique and different ones that didn't work. And we did a lot of testing to come across eMist as a solution that worked for us, not only in the product, but the way that they went to market, their marketing support, their willingness to jump in and do things with us and support us. They became the person that we wanted to have. And, they're a part of our whole health and hygiene solution, a key cornerstone of it, but not the only thing we have, but a key one, and one that's been a great partner for us. So it was a journey that had many forks and turns, but we've now started to come together and are both delivering with increased value.
Mm-hmm. And Shane, what about you from your perspective?
From my perspective, it's really forming the relationship. Again, I kind of mentioned earlier how we take our time onboarding partners to make sure we're truly partnered with the right folks to help us bring our customers the solutions they need. And I tell you, over the last 6 months, we've taken a lot of risk, a lot more than we normally would take a company of our size. We tend to be a little slower, but methodical about it. So we took some risk and we got burned. I mean, Mike was kind of alluding to it that, product was coming to us from all angles, and, it was hectic and you didn't really know what was going to work. So you just took some risk and tried some things, and some of them did not work out. But with Josh and his team specifically, we've had conference calls weekly with his leadership, Josh included, every week since June, just to make sure we're all on the same page. We're all bringing the right solutions to the market. We've had hiccups on both sides, and we worked through them together. So from my perspective, that's what's really been good about it.
Mm-hmm. And Josh, I think there's something you're proud of with your company. It's about where you get your products, your materials.
Absolutely. We're very proud of, as an entrepreneur, creating jobs and creating stability in our economy, in our community is super important. And, like these guys have said, I mean, they've been a key part of it at Ferguson is growth. And so with growth, we're building more product, we're creating more product. And thankfully our product has been and is built right here in Texas, in our home base. And 80% of our products and our parts that are in our units are actually domestically sourced as well. So, it's been an incredible journey. We've grown extremely fast. Even though we've been around, I call us, we're the 6-year-old startup, that we've had to grow up really fast, very, very quickly, to implement better processes, create a more robust supply chain so that we're continually, buying parts, so that we can ship thousands of products every week. And so it's been an incredible experience. And I think bottom line, as we wrap up, Jeff, is the company was started to make the world we live healthier and safer. And I believe that with sound application, with great products, I mean, there's new chemistries coming on the market that have 1-minute dwell times that are just awesome. And so you need a new way to apply it. methodologies. Spray bottles are great, but those spray bottles have been around for a long time, and it's a new opportunity to improve the way chemistry is applied on touch points, and I think electrostatics is the way. And I might have a little bias, but I think eMist is the best solution. But there are some other good products out in the market.
Well, thank you, all three of you, for your time today and for sharing your story and your strategies with the market. So we'll check in with you another time and see how things are going down the road.